by the way. So
Yeah. So someone will come up, and yes, we are back. And someone will, as Kevin is smoking, someone will come up in the
shit.
chat and say, "Stop smoking." No, big up to the guy, whoever that was. I don't remember. I slacked them off. I didn't bother to watch the video again. But we have two guests here who are here for a fun-filled late night chat. Hopefully, some of the people in the chat are alive as well, as much as we are. And before we get into it, let me introduce the two guests. The one on the couch, the big comfy couch, John Jones, Ravenna FC. How are you doing?
Not too good because half my team squad is injured and the what do you call it? The IPL's over. So
If you want to see something as boring as the Serie A, you can always watch the ISL. That's just started, the Indian Super League. But and my second guest at the moment is Kevin, and he's back from his work slumber, you can say, and he's now back to doing a lot of videos. How are you doing, my brother?
Yeah, I'm good, Nitish. I'm good. It couldn't be much different. Like John said, his squad is partially injured or maybe mostly injured. And currently, our team, I suppose, is out of confidence, out of depth. Mikel Arteta out of depth. Even I'm out of depth right now. So that's the way it is. But yeah, I'm doing well. COVID is still screwing me over since March, so making nothing much of a difference. I'm still like bedridden still, not because of my disability or something. It's because I got no other job. I'm just going down to bed, sleep, charge my phone. Okay, back in YouTube. It's great to be back again, man. It's great to be back. Thanks for having me on, Nitish. It was all of a
Hopefully,
sudden.
hopefully you are bedridden right now, and someone is riding your bed a few days later. But we'll have to wait for that because you are in the middle of a lockdown and a pandemic right now. We all are, and hopefully that ends soon. So, getting into the topic in hand, big up Miss Molina. And how are you doing? Great panel. Thank you so much, Miss Molina, for tuning in. And yeah, so we were having this discussion. Kevin, why are you, I'll ask you again, why are you trying to grab Arteta by the neck like Guendouzi grabbed Mope?
I'm okay. You want to ask me about Arteta in or Arteta out? Is it?
Either ways, stop grabbing Arteta with the with your palm and doing a Guendouzi.
I'm totally.
Undertaker's choke slam.
I seriously wish I could do that shit with Arteta right now. Seriously, the guy's team selection, the way he manhandles and the players, the way he handles the youngsters, especially the younger players, instead of handling the much more senior players, makes no sense at all. Because all our young players, he seems to like just grab them by their throat and tell them, "You are shit. You are dropped to the bench. You are doing this. You are doing this." But we have never seen Arteta being ruthless to the senior squad, to the senior members of the squad. He's not being ruthless to any of the senior players. He's only ruthless towards the youngsters because he knows he can't punk around with the youngsters can't punk around the manager. I think that's why he's losing the plot, in my opinion. He's losing the plot because the youngsters are losing the trust towards Mikel Arteta as well. I think that's you can see that from the performance as well because they're not given enough opportunities. That's my opinion. And most of the players that the senior players have played with Mikel Arteta. That's why
Yeah.
they know that even if they play shit, they are guaranteed a start next week. And this manager came out and said with the sold out phrase, it's non-negotiable. If you play shit, I don't care who you are, how much you earn, you're dropped. If that's the case, why Bellerin is keep getting started?
yeah,
If that's the case, why Xhaka? Yeah,
except Hecky B. Yeah,
No,
but
there could be a
but
particular reason with respect to why
yeah,
Niles isn't playing. But before that, I just wanted to give a quick update. For it was just something that I had seen before. That Kirby Morrow. I don't think you guys must know who Kirby Morrow is. He was an actor and he was a voice actor, and he was behind the voice of Cyclops, Goku, and Miroku. and he died at 47. So he passed away at
Wow.
47.
Reason?
From what? Was it from COVID?
Death from what? Death reason of natural or what? Or
Cancer,
is
maybe?
it because of the bloody COVID?
Voiceover has died age 47. I'll give you the details. Cause of death is unknown. That is what it's saying.
What's his name? I'll see if I can find another. How do you spell it?
Kirby Morrow. Kirby. Kirby Morrow is no more. Big up Zaid, big up Miss Melina.
Uh,
And Zaid, if you can just post the video link in the Discord, we can have some good fun. I'm not drunk today, so I think it will be fine. Everyone will be fine. So the reason is not mentioned here in this
yeah,
article that I just.
I think everywhere says no cause of death yet.
Yeah. So could be natural,
Jahid,
could be some.
one comment. Jahid, I've been doing this stream since 12 midnight until now, non-stop. And it's 6 a.m. right now, and I'm still here. So it's
Yeah.
not easy, you see.
Hopefully the fans can collect the Dragon Balls and wish him back. But that we know that doesn't happen. But anyways, with respect to Arsenal, as Kevin was saying, with respect to Arteta out, the problem that I again focus on is the fact that I don't think these players are good enough. They did this to Wenger in the final years. They did it to Emery, and now they're doing it to Arteta. So
Yeah,
I know John will disagree. Go ahead, John.
yeah. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I just don't think he's good enough. So why keep him while getting rid of the players? Just get rid of all of them. Like
No.
if like you're getting some players in that are good enough. So if he isn't even getting the best out of the players that are good enough,
Yeah.
then why keep him? Why keep
Okay,
him and get rid of the players as well?
okay, John, I got a quick question for you. If you say that Mikel Arteta isn't good enough, I had this conversation. I think Nitish would know this. Would Mikel Arteta be an improvement for Liverpool above Klopp?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Would
Because
he be an
everybody
improvement for
keeps saying
Liverpool?
that Mikel Arteta is trying to implement exactly what Liverpool is trying to do, and they
Yeah.
say that he doesn't has any good players at all. At Liverpool, every single player is good. They are world beaters. They won the Champions League. They won the Premier League. So, if let's say if Arteta was managing that team, can you see any improvement, or will you be seeing your team regressing under Arteta?
Yeah, I think that question is a bit hard to answer because we know the structure of Arsenal is absolute pants, and we know that Klopp gets the backing, the proper backing, and there's a philosophy at the club. The everyone's on the same wavelength, as Chris Khan said last night, I believe it was, and that isn't an Arsenal. So, you know, who knows if Arteta would do better at Liverpool with the owners if they got him every single player he wanted, and if he, he might do better. Is he good enough to get where Klopp's got? I don't think so, and that's where you
And
have
I will
to. I think
and I
that's where
will
you have
ask
to hold it off. Yeah.
and I will ask Kevin a question. Kevin, do you think Klopp is a good manager?
Klopp, I believe he's good. But yeah, he's
Okay.
good. I believe he's good. But in terms of trophy wise, I would say he's more or less like he's not in an era of like a world. We all say
Yeah.
because before he was in Dortmund, nobody called him as a world class manager. He got that world class title at
Yeah.
Liverpool. Now he's recognized as a world class manager. So prior of him joining from Liverpool, and if we were taking directly from Dortmund, I would say he would just get us into like the top four, maybe for competing. In terms of winning it, I don't think so. I don't think so he would have done it. But right now, on the
Yeah.
basis of his current form, and if he were to join Arsenal, I think we would be able to compete and win it because he has that winning thing. Because let's not forget that Klopp, when he was managing at Dortmund, he was most of the time on the losing finalists. If you notice, many of the times he was like that, so close, so close. Every time he goes to the final, losers, go to the final, losers. That was what he was doing. That's why he was like the nearly manager. When he came to Liverpool, he had that same obstacle. I remember that Liverpool went to the final of the Europa League. They lost to Sevilla, Unai Emery's Sevilla, and
Yeah.
the very next season they won. They won the champions. They went to the Champions League final. They lost it again, and it was the Klopp hoodoo again. And then the following season they won the Champions League. Then the following season they won the Premier League. So we can see a pattern of play. So in my opinion, Klopp right now he can get us to top of the table. Klopp in the current form. In the
I'll add
current form, yes,
I'll add Jahid, hold on 1 minute. But before that, the reason I asked you was you said that Klopp is now world class, but before he was good, right? He was good, great,
yeah.
trending towards great, but now world class. Klopp came to Liverpool, finished eighth in the table in the first season. This is technically Arteta's first season. If he's able to finish anywhere eighth or above, why are you calling for a sack then?
And let's not forget, Klopp has managed a team before. Arteta hasn't managed a team. And
Yo.
moreover, hey, Shahid,
Yeah,
what's up,
babe.
man?
Go
Yeah,
on, go
I'm
on,
Yeah.
good,
Kevin. Go
bro.
on.
Yeah, Shahid, all right. So,
Listen,
like I was saying, Klopp has already managed a team, and when he was there, also he
Yeah,
didn't. Everybody knows what Klopp's about. Klopp didn't finish in Dortmund as an eighth place or a seventh place or a sixth place finish. He was
yeah,
constantly in the top three. So, on the basis of that, Liverpool fans know what to expect. As soon as
yeah.
he came to Liverpool, as soon as he finished on the eighth place, everybody know that okay, it's not going to be a one season thing. It's not going to be the next 5 years we are going to finish eighth. They know that Liverpool, okay, this season we are scrapped, we finish eighth, fine. But the following season, we know we will be up there competing. And on the second season, he moved into a final. So on the other season, he moved on the elite European competitions final, and then they won it. But Mikel Arteta has set
Yeah,
his standard up at a very high level as soon as
yeah,
his first managerial job. He came in, he won the FA Cup. He won the FA Cup. So when you win something, when you win the FA Cup, we expect progression to go upwards instead of downwards. That's what I wanted to see. If you set the bar so high by winning the FA Cup, how can you go backwards? I would question the same with Klopp. If Klopp were to win on his first season a trophy with Liverpool, and if they moved backwards, I'm sure John and any other Liverpool fans would question, why are we moving backwards? The problem is Klopp started slow and then he moved upwards. But what I'm seeing right now is like the same Wenger era, whereby we beat City, we beat Chelsea, the best Chelsea side under Conte, and then we finish backwards.
Yeah,
It's trending into the same pattern.
look at us before. Look at before club. We had Rogers who nearly won the league and then regressed, and it's a kind of a similar thing, but with a trophy for Arteta. He won a
Yeah,
trophy and now he's going backwards. Yeah,
no,
that's
but
why I'm calling out Arteta.
no, but the thing right now I want to ask you is, if that is the case, then why were you Emery out or Emery in?
I was asking Emery to be given more time.
Yeah, I was the same.
yeah.
But now,
I think Emery got a hard thing as well. Yeah,
yeah, but now if you see, Arteta is doing more or less what Emery was doing. Is he not? Deja vu
uh,
again? I can see it.
I don't think so. I think Emery, like we said in the show before, Emery changed his tactics up a lot more. Emery got more goals on a like you got a lot more games that were 3-1s and uh, four goals
we
scored
we
and stuff like
concede
that.
we concede goals. We
Yeah,
concede goals. Yes, I agree. We concede goals. We concede shots. Let's not
Yeah,
forget.
yeah.
Everybody keep bragging about Leno is player of the season. Leno is the best keeper. How can he get player of the season, goalkeeper of the season, and shit like this without handling any shot? If he had a brilliant defense where he got no other work at all, he wouldn't be called the Premier League's best keeper. But now we can see all Arsenal fans saying like we let go Martinez. Oh, Leno is the best keeper. He's the top three in the league and all shit like this. That is the reason down to what? That is down to Emery because he literally bought that squad. Yes, we conceded 30, 20 shots, but at the same time we scored 3 and 4 goals up front. Right now, we are not conceding 30 or 40 shots, but we are still losing games and we still can't do fuck all up front. Makes no sense at all. That's why I wanted Emery to be given much more time. And let's not forget, Emery wanted Zaha instead of Pepe. He got served up with Pepe. Emery wanted what Thomas Partey. He got served up with Torreira. Emery wanted Fabinho, and he wanted Fabinho. He wanted
Yeah.
Maguire. He got served up with Socrates. So it just makes no sense. Whatever player that he wanted, he didn't get. And let's also not forget with the players, the number of players he got rid. He got rid of Iwobi for 40 odd million. I didn't see that coming. He got rid of Carl Jenkinson. He got
He
rid
didn't
of
get rid of
what?
he didn't get rid of Iwobi. The club sold him. He didn't want Iwobi to be sold.
And then
Oh,
Listeiner or someone. Okay, he got rid of all
But
Carl
he, but he,
Jenkinson.
but yeah, you can still give him credit. He played him and generated that value for him. If he hadn't played him and got tune out of him, they wouldn't have
40
got
million
40
was an
million.
absolute steal. 40 million was an absolute steal. Absolute steal. How did he pull off that deal is still a miracle. Because right
Emery,
now,
Emery
yeah,
didn't. It was the
gone.
club that sold him. Emery wanted to retain him, so the club sold him. And what I'm saying is that
In
these
my
guys,
opinion, I think it was a good idea that we sold Iwobi.
the club got the
Yeah.
deal in
The
when
club made
Emery
the club
wanted to
made a
retain him.
the club made a good decision on selling him. But regardless of that, he still needs to get credit. Even if he didn't want to sell him, he still got him to be that price.
But
If he hadn't
look
played
at the
him,
situation right now.
Replace him.
Yeah, go on, Jahid.
Yeah, but we got Nicolas Pepe to replace him, and he's doing a better job at Arsenal than Iwobi.
yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he deserves credit for Iwobi sale, even if the club decided to sell him because he played him, and if he had just left him on the bench and not played him, and you probably would have got 20 million for him.
No,
Yeah,
So
I
exactly.
think. See, the thing was, Emery wanted to retain Iwobi, but the club wanted to sell him because they were getting such a huge offer, and Everton are idiots. So when they came in for that with that money, the club said, "Bye bye Iwobi," and Emery didn't want him to go because he was one of the creative players. You remember I saying we had the creativity issue once Ramsey left. Iwobi was another player who was a creative player. He was crap in front of goal with respect to finishing, but with respect to creativity, he could create. And when he was also gone, only one that we got in was Danny Ceballos. So that was the problem. So
yeah,
ultimately,
could have Emery just been saying that,
yeah,
one of these things that managers say just to like be nice to a player. It's like, oh, I want to keep
And
him,
yeah,
you know.
no, it was
when it
club
comes to
versus Emery.
that,
It was
when
club
it
versus
comes to
Emery.
that,
So, wait.
because Emery didn't get the full backing of the club. Let's not forget this as well, because Emery wanted so many things sorted out. Emery was begging for Ramsey to stay. The club decided to let him go.
Yeah,
Every single decision that the club made was against Emery. But every single thing that's going on for Arteta right now is backed up by the entire board, which which just show a double standard here, Because why wasn't Emery given the backing? A much more experienced manager had the backing, had never had the backing, but a fella that's a novice just get the backing blindly. It just makes no sense.
yeah. The thing again, see, but with respect to one thing, I'll tell you, it's not as if Emery was given bad players. Not always, because Torreira was a good player. Pepe was supposed to be a good player, but Emery couldn't get the best out of him. Martinelli was a great player. Leno was a decent player. It's not as if he was given all bad players. But the thing now with respect to that was, I agree that Emery should have been given more time. He shouldn't have been sacked. But I am saying that is the same case with Arteta, because when you have a manager, you get him his players, and if you don't give him time, a new manager comes in, and those players which have come in with the regime of the previous manager then have to play with the manager
Yeah.
who's not gotten them, and he doesn't want them. So
Yeah,
then you again restart the process again. And one more thing with Arteta, he has already delivered a title when no one expected it. Pochettino throughout his career spent
Come on.
spent so many long years at Tottenham, but what is the one thing that he never could get? A title. That is why he got sacked. If today we get a manager like Pochettino at Arsenal, for example, if Pochettino spends 5 years at Arsenal, but he improves us, but within the 5 years he gets us no titles, won't we want him to be sacked without a doubt?
Okay, it's all about context. Like what Tottenham are the jelly baby club, and he managed to get them challenging for the highest honors. Arteta finished eighth and won an FA Cup playing counter attack football. Yes, well, and as we know,
Oh, that's what we got Marino. Yeah.
yeah, in cup football, these things can happen. Then Atalanta got to the semi. Atalanta got to the quarterfinals, I think.
Let's not forget, Nitish, if it wasn't for that first minute penalty that Liverpool earned in the Champions League final against Spurs, I don't think so. Liverpool would have won that game comfortably because Spurs were pretty much in the game up until the 80 something minute. Okay, and let's not forget, when we went en route to our final against Sheffield United, if it was not with VAR, we would have been dumped out because VAR literally saved our asses in that game.
No, but three things. One, such things have to happen at some point of time. Liverpool lost 3 finals, so they had to get one final going their way. They had lost 3 finals before that. Sorry?
Pardon?
Would you sell all of the Wenger players?
Absolutely.
No one wants to buy them.
A lot of them have to go. Get them off the books, for God's sake.
No one
Only
wants to buy
Wenger
them.
signing I'd keep is Aubameyang.
Yeah.
So with respect
But
to
even I can be very controversial with that, Jahid. Even I can be very controversial with that because even judging from Aubameyang, what I would have done is I would have retained his salary as previously agreed. That means when he first entered the club, I would have maintained that salary. If you wanted high salary, I would demand much more productivity, and of course all the goals and all this. What they should have done is retain his salary. Let's say he's taking about 250 grand a week. Retain his salary at 250 grand. Set a target of his number of goals and keep it as a bonus. Not put it up to 350 grand. And now you say like 20,000 additional for his goal scoring input, which amounts up to what?
He's on 375k a week.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That was madness. I can see this happening exactly as the Ozil scenario right now.
But listen, he signed a new contract in the poor form.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And what?
He was scoring before he signed the contract. He signed the contract and then he stopped scoring goals.
Then he fell off the cliff. Yeah, Ozil.
He's hiding.
What would you guys do if Aubameyang's form drops from? So what did he have last season in the league? Was it 20 goals? Right, I think it's 21 or something.
In all competitions.
22 in all competitions. So what if he goes to 15 goals in the league? Would you cash in if you see a decrease?
Nah.
From what? I don't think so. I want to sell him because nobody will be out for him right now with the current wages he's on, and I don't think so any club would, in the current situation they are in right now, I don't think so any club can match his wage structure.
No one will be able to match his wages.
Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about the wages. Yeah.
But what's his market?
Because in the expectation, when we expected, Aubameyang to sign a contract, what we expected to see as Arsenal fans, we wanted to see him centrally instead of the wing, because he's absolutely being wasted on the wing right now. Because we all know a winger requires pace. He's getting older as he's aging right now, so he's not going to have the pace. So right now, David Luiz can play ping 30-yard, 40-yard balls. Same with Gabriel. So Vardy doesn't have a hold-up play. We get that. But if you can play the ball over to him, he can run and he can finish it off. That's all we are asking. That's all. That's not a rocket science type of strategy. That's something like you just ping a 30, 40-yard ball, just let Oba to run the show. Vardy is about 32, 33 years old. He's running the show.
I think he's 33, yeah.
He's running the show even at this age. Even at this age. So don't tell me Aubameyang cannot run this age, man. Come on, man. Of course, we don't see Vardy on the wing. We see him much more centrally. Vardy is the smallest of person. He doesn't know how to hold up the ball, but they are playing to his strength. Why can't Arsenal play to Aubameyang's strength? Aubameyang's strength is not on the wing. Aubameyang's strength is in the middle. So why are we not playing him on the middle?
Again, I'm saying this, that the formation and the setup expects him to come central, but he's not coming central because again the balls that are coming from behind are played towards the left hand side, a corner, a lot more. And the other thing is, you expect Aubameyang to do something with the ball at his feet. He's not running. He's not putting in that effort. You don't see the effort from Aubameyang. If you see the games, he's not doing much with it. Barely he will ever put in the ball, or he will try to take on a player
And
and take a shot.
Nitesh,
yeah, but even if he
I,
takes the player, even if he takes the player, he is the center forward, Nitish. Who is he giving a cross to? There's no one else to finish in there. So he's supposed to be in a position where he can finish instead of setting up other players. You know, all our players are in a defensive setup. So who is going to tap in and who is going to attack the ball in the offensive side when you have your attacking sense in the right, in the left wing side? So it
No,
just
that is what
questions,
I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. The long balls should not be sent out too away from the center towards the
yeah.
corner. That Aubameyang is forced into that position. That is what is the problem. And once he's forced, he goes wide as well, looking for free space because he has no ability to run with the ball or keep hold of it. And that is the problem. And even if he is central, you need to understand the one major difference that Aubameyang is facing right now is this season, every team is marking him with at least 2 or 3 players. Every team. He's not getting the
Now,
space that he was getting last season.
now,
That is
now,
one of
now, now he knows what it's like to be Mo Salah.
you
a lot of
just
chances
had to
and
get
waste
that
them.
in, right? You just had to get that in, right?
Yeah.
He knows. John knows it.
What was I going
So
to say? But
But
it
again,
comes down to Arteta as well because like he if you put Aubameyang on the wing, you give him the option to go to drift to the wing. If you put him up front and you tell him you just stay there and we're going to try and find you and you make the runs, just don't give him the option. Just and stop again. And you put him on the wing. I don't. This is what I think. I'm not there, so I don't know if Arteta is being an idiot and telling Aubameyang to track back because you don't want him to track back. Stay up there, catch him off. You guys need to score more goals. Like who
no,
cares? Who cares? Who cares if they run it? If they run it your left
okay,
side, like
guys,
or whatever.
let's get Jahid's opinion on this as well. Jahid, go on, bro.
Yeah.
Go on, bro, with your opinions maybe on this. Oba on the left or centrally. What's your say on
Uh,
this, man?
Aubameyang's preferred position is not on the left, is mainly in the middle because when you play him in the middle, he starts scoring lots of goals. But in the left hand side, he has pace, but his crossing distribution isn't good. So I don't know why Arteta plays him on the left wing. With Wenger and Arteta, with Emery, they used to play him in the middle, but Arteta just messed up his career.
I think that's an overstatement. But still, there is his career is not yet messed up. He's still got time.
Arteta the fraud, messing up careers.
But last season also Aubameyang was playing on the left and he was scoring goals. But unfortunately, this season, I think after the contract signing, he's just not been able to find the form. And it was
Yeah, like
it was bound to
this.
happen.
He signed the new contract. He only scored about 1 or 2 goals, but before he signed the
One
new
goal.
contract,
He scored one.
Two goals, two goals, two goals. One against Fulham, another one against
Oh
Manchester
yeah.
Yeah,
United.
the penalty. Yeah, the penalty.
yeah, but that's all he did this and Europa League as well.
Yeah, one Europa League goal and one in the United game.
That's 3 now.
Three against Fulham as well.
Oh yeah, the
So
Fulham
I
game one.
think he should do more goals than that.
No, but didn't he sign the contract after the Fulham game? So after that, only 2 goals.
Yeah, it probably
No,
was. Yeah.
the FA Cup, after the FA Cup.
No,
I'm
he
sure.
didn't sign
No,
after
it
that.
was much later. Yeah.
It was after the Fulham game. He signed the new deal.
Was it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's all a blur because of the time you're waiting for him to sign it.
Okay.
Kevin,
So yeah.
Indonesia. Is it
Pardon?
hot in Malaysia? Is it hot? Is it that hot in Malaysia?
Seriously, it's hot, man. It's roasting right now, man.
Wow. No wonder I
It,
could feel the
it,
fact.
it is roasting right now. And seriously, I gotta take my bloody bath 3 or 4 times a day, man. It's crazy. And
Oh my god.
expect in the evenings it's going to be pouring. It's horrible. The rain gets really bad down here. It can cause massive floods. So yeah, man. But it's good, man. It only lasts about for a month or so. But I gotta
See,
take it in, man.
Arsenal beat Fulham on the 12th of September, and Aubameyang signed
Yeah,
the deal on the 16th.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah. Just
yeah,
look that up, man.
Signed the team.
After the Fulham game.
Yeah.
Yep, after the
yeah.
Fulham game.
So that
The
means, considering the fact that means he would have scored only 3 goals if that's the case.
He scored,
No,
yeah, two after that.
two after the contract, man.
That to one was a penalty, so nothing in the Premier League yet.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So if
Eric's
if you count this thing one goal, right? Because the other one was charity. So
Charity. The Paul Pogba charity.
yeah,
What do you think of
but
the
then I have to be
Yeah.
fair. I have to be fair and say Mo Salah's got a bit of charity as well, then. So because he takes our penalties.
Nah, the best penalty.
Jahid was about to say something. Yeah, Jahid, go on, man.
What do you think of the swap deal between Ericsson and Xhaka?
Take it any day.
I would
Shit,
take it, man. I would take
shit.
it, but that's not supposed to be the target. That's not supposed to be the target. But in my opinion, Ericsson any day, as long as any deal involves Granit Xhaka to get out of the club, I'm taking it, man.
Please.
Yeah, I love that phrase. What Ericsson's got more creativity in his pinky toe than Xhaka.
No, Ericsson may have a good point, because he let's we all keep saying that Ericsson is a cast off from Tottenham. I don't think so. He's a cast off. He was a
Cast off.
contract rebel. He was a rebel in Tottenham because Tottenham wanted to keep him. He was a contract rebel.
He was
Who said
bad.
he was a cast off? Who said he was a cast off?
Many people keep saying like we are taking rejects from Spurs and Chelsea and all this,
Yeah.
and
What
and
reject?
Claude
Ericsson,
says
he's
that a
not.
lot. I think retirement home.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I,
Ericsson wanted to
Ericsson.
leave, so he said
Yeah,
that I am not going to play. You sell me. They did not sell him. Then his contract expired and he left. He didn't go. Sorry, they sold him eventually after a tussle, and they got some money from Inter Milan for him. But Inter
yeah.
Milan, the problem is the club signed him, but Conte doesn't like him. He doesn't suit his style of play. So that is about that.
One thing I'm afraid with this contract dealing between Ericsson and Xhaka, one thing I'm afraid is going to be the wage packet. Because if Ericsson is going to come in and demand a huge wage packet,
He's on
like the
a
likes
lot
of
wage
Willian and
packet,
all
man.
this, if he demands like that, I'd rather not have him because I don't want to have another Ozil situation with this idiot as well.
But Willian is on around 100k plus, and the
That's a
add-ons are
massive
the other.
stupidity by Arteta. Or
No,
maybe
100k
I
is
think
fine.
this is an Edu signing. This is a bloody Edu signing, bloody Brazilian prick signing.
No, see, 100k is fine because he was on something 180k
Yeah,
there.
100,
Base
180, but
salary is
I
100.
don't want it to go beyond 200. I don't want it to go beyond 200 because right now, if you were
Yeah.
to see, I'm not comparing us between Spurs, but if you were to see Spurs right
Yeah.
now just offered, I think I'm not sure whether Son has signed his contract or what. They are in talks of extending Son's contract from 120 grand to 200 grands, and you can
Yeah.
see what type of miracles Son is doing at Spurs. Not on one season basis. He has been doing it for the last 2 or 3 seasons consistently, and he's now only earning 200,000. And we took an expired, a waste of money from Willian, and we are giving him 210 grands a week, and
No,
he
we're
he
not.
did
That
fuck
is what
all.
I'm saying. 210 it will become when he's getting all the bonuses. If you see his current wage package, the base salary is around 100 or 120k. He's taken a pay cut for coming from Chelsea to Arsenal and staying in London. So there are things, if he performs and he deserves the bonuses, he will get it. That is the thing. But you need to remember one more thing, that Willian is a Premier League winner. He's been good last season as well. Now, whether he's able to perform at Arsenal or not is a different thing. And that also depends on how we are playing. Right now, we are playing very badly. That is another main problem.
Yeah,
No,
that's the same can be said with David Luiz as
I'm
well.
watching
David
Arsenal
Luiz also is a Premier League winner. Both the players that you mentioned, David Luiz and Willian, are
Yeah,
both
yeah.
one of the most decorated players that we have in our squad. Seriously, because they have won every single games, they have won every single trophies available, and look how both of those monkeys are performing. It makes no sense at all. The two players have won as much as the entire Arsenal squad has won in the last 10 years. They're two players.
No, but the thing with David Luiz is I think he has done justice to the money that we're giving him. We're not giving him too much. And he was brought in, unfortunately, because Laurent Koscielny wanted to leave desperately. Otherwise, I don't think we would have ever signed David Luiz. The only reason we got him in was because of this reason, that Laurent Koscielny forced his way out of Arsenal. Otherwise, and that is one of the more problems, one of the bigger problems that Unai Emery faced as well. He lost his main centre back. People say that Unai Emery
Hmm.
had a trash team. I don't agree. The loops, the loopholes, the problems were far less with Unai Emery in his first season. That is why he may not have as quality players as Thomas Partey and Gabriel, but overall the squad looked in a better shape and a better, you can say, more adaptable to experimenting. And that is what Arteta does not have right now. People, and one more thing, when Emery experimented too much, fans were criticizing Emery that why the hell is he experimenting every game? Why the hell is he changing the formation every game? And today, the fans say that we want Arteta to experiment a lot. And once he starts doing that every game, they will then try to kick his ass again and tell him that Arteta needs to stop experimenting. He's experimenting too much. So this is how the fan base rolls. And this is why I'm saying that he needs to stay. He needs his time. This is his first season. Even if he finishes, I have said anywhere between fifth to eighth, I am fine, because even Klopp did that. And in the second season, when he'll come back after the summer transfer
Okay.
window, he will have two or three more players, better players, and maybe two or three of the Wenger players from his already existing squad will be gone. So there is still
I'm
improvement.
pretty sure, I'm gonna look it up, but I think Klopp's first season when he finished eighth, wasn't that the season where he came in halfway through? So that's like Arteta's last season.
No, it wasn't. I think it
Okay.
was
I'm,
this.
no, I'm pretty
And
sure it was. I'm pretty sure it was.
John, I just give you a quick question. Does it make any sense for you to put Arteta in a mold of comparing with Klopp? Does it make any sense to you?
Well, we know this. It doesn't make any sense. He hasn't managed before.
And
He
then
hasn't. He hasn't won
I
titles.
just don't, yeah, I just don't get it why Arsenal fans keep comparing into the Liverpool process and to the Liverpool and the Klopp era and stuff like this. It doesn't make sense. If you want to make a valid comparison, the comparison should be made between Frank Lampard. Okay, even
Hold,
Frank Lampard has managed a club or
Brendan
something,
Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers was
Uh,
sacked on the 4th of October.
Yep, I was right. His
That's
first,
that's
his
middle of
half,
the
his half,
season.
yeah, his
That's
half a
barely any
season.
time. It's
His
barely
half,
any time. August,
It's,
September,
but
October.
he missed a transfer window. He didn't get a preseason.
Yeah, not denying that. But obviously, that is more than half a season. It's not even half a season, it's more than half. It's like almost a full season.
But
But he
Arteta
still,
got the
but
job
he,
on December.
but he
Arteta
still,
got the job on December.
he still, and we go with the point from before. He still had that dead squad that he had to get rid of, and he got 8 with it. And then when he got them out, he got fourth. Oh, wait, I need to look it up again. Fourth, second, first, third. Obviously, third
So,
right
meaning
now.
to
But, yeah.
say, this season, Mikel Arteta must get fourth. If you're looking into the Liverpool process,
Yeah.
this season, Arsenal must get fourth.
No, you need to also understand how bad is the difference between the two squads.
That's
Liverpool,
true as well. I will say that.
Liverpool almost won the title 2 years before Klopp came in. Sorry, 1.5 you can say year before Klopp came in. But with Arteta, this team can't even win the Mickey Mouse Cup if they wanted. Unfortunately, they
But
can't. But last season, Arteta's tactics and whatever luck and everything you want to combine everything like Captain Planet combining, he managed to get the FA Cup. Now it's going to again, let's get back to reality. It's going to take us at least 3 to 4 seasons before Jahid falls asleep. Jahid, are you still there? So I was
he's
saying,
watching
yeah,
Flintstones. He's watching
it,
Flintstones.
it's gonna take Arteta or any manager a lot more. You look like a Smurf right now.
Huh?
You look like a Smurf.
Smurf.
Yeah, your face is looking
La
like
la
all
la la
glowy.
la 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 la.
TV reflection.
Yeah.
and it
Now
was
you
dark, so it was looking like your
make
face was
feel
glowing.
now.
So yeah, I was saying, so Arteta will have to spend at least 2 to 3 seasons. Even Emery would have had to spend at least 2 to 3 seasons. Unfortunately, if we had signed, if I will say one more thing, if we had possibly signed OR in the summer transfer window, we could have argued that Arteta has most of the players that he needs. But because we didn't get the creative midfielder, Arteta does not still have most of the players that he needs.
But Nitesh, he could have assumed. This is my point. I don't trust Arteta's coaching ability. If he had Hashim Owa, I bet you'd have him tracking back to left back and then not actually in the right position to give the right
And
ball. Then
No, if OR was in this team, we would never play a 3-4-3. We would be sticking to 4-3-3.
I highly doubt that. I think you
I
should
doubt
stress
that.
that.
Yeah.
I stress for that formation. I think he'll still play
No,
even with him there.
with Thomas Partey, if you have seen with Thomas Partey coming in, he has been playing a 4-3-3 occasionally. He's trying to transition from the 3-4-3 to the 4-3-3 now. So unfortunately, he's not been able to do that completely yet. But I think within a few games he will be able to do that. So I think it's only a matter of time before you see the 4-3-3 implemented completely.
And when you
Yeah.
say Nitish, when you say just now that Liverpool
Yeah,
were close to winning a title and then they finished eighth in the middle of the season, let's not
yeah,
forget. Why are we keep forgetting that Unai Emery brought them fifth,
yeah,
2 points, 1 point behind fourth, and 2 points behind third. So they were that close. Okay, and when you say that Liverpool they were close to winning the title, then they fell back to eighth. Okay,
yeah,
but with Emery, they finished fifth. They went back
yeah,
to eighth. So right
yeah,
now, if you want to follow that same Liverpool method,
yeah.
we must finish fourth. How can the expectation go back to
Hold on.
eighth now?
Oh,
One
so would
one thing is,
you so would you want Arteta or Emery then?
I'd rather keep Emery, man. If I know Arteta was being the manager, I'd rather keep Emery.
no,
Arteta,
that is wrong. Hold on, that is not correct because last season, if Emery stayed till the end of the season, we would have finished nothing less than eighth. Because when we finished fifth, we had creative players. We had actually a creative midfielder. We had a captain at the back who was a leader. Again, Lauren Kashoni, the defender, I'm saying, and those guys left at the end of that season. You may say that Gabriel is come in, but he's not that good a leader yet. You may say David Luiz has come in, but he's not that good a defender. I know Kashoni wasn't the best of the best, but at least they had some kind of bonding and he had some more leadership skills. Now, with respect to, if you see, with respect to Ramsey, he was both a goal scorer and a creative player. He was the link between the defense and the attack. We had Guendouzi, who was a ball carrier. We had Torreira, who was a defensive midfielder who could even push forward at times. So we had a lot of other players. People are focused on the fact that we had Lichtsteiner. Fuck Lichtsteiner. He was just like
Yeah.
you can say a cheap player that no one gave a damn about. He was beyond his prime.
Yeah. Still better than Zoolander though.
No, he wasn't better than Bellerin. He was worse than Bellerin. Anyways, but the thing was, we had a lot of good players, and the thing was when the club has made two major mistakes. One, the window before let go of Ramsey. Two, the window this one let go of Martinez. These two decisions have totally destroyed the base that we were starting to build from the back, and it has pushed it way behind, you can say. So when the club is doing such shit, how can you expect the team to move forward when the club is themselves and the owners are pushing you back? And the other thing is, you have still not been able to sign a creative midfielder. The only creative midfielder that you got is that cheap guy again, that is Danny Ceballos, back on loan. And we have seen this season so far, he's not good enough. He's never consistent in the whole 90 minutes. His set pieces are crap. And he just is there because there isn't any other player. Now,
Okay,
quickly,
coming to that. Coming to
comment.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sam's comment, Seba inconsistent. Willock not ready yet. I think he'll slowly transition into the first team now because of his current form. Smith Rowe not played a single game in the first team. Can't play him in the first team right now. Will have to start with the Europa League. Saka is already playing in the team. Saka can either play there or he's playing on the left wing and he's doing a good job wherever
Oh,
he's playing.
why can't Smith Rowe play?
He can't
Nelson
directly.
and Nelson went on loan like he did, and they both have played games before.
No,
Like why isn't he getting a chance?
no, I'm saying he can't directly jump into the Premier League squad. He will have to
Why
start with the
not?
cup competition. No,
Why?
then that will
No.
destroy
Why?
his career.
I don't think so. You get that, Nitish, because how can Leicester City just buy
Yeah,
a player, Saliba's mate, teammate, a centre back
yeah,
partner, and just throw
yeah.
him into the front four? Just ask him to play first team football. Go ahead, you replace this guy and you play. I don't think so. You need to adjust yourself. You need to acclimatize yourself. Nothing. Just go in, express yourself. Sometimes that's all you need. And let's not forget that guy is only 18 years old, 18 or 19
Yeah.
years old,
Yeah.
and he
No,
is still young.
you are just missing one point there, one small point there, that our fan base is way more toxic than Leicester's. If Smith Rowe fails, they will be hunting him down all over social media. Second thing is, Leicester did not have the players at that point of time due to injuries, suspensions, or whatever reason, and that is why he was pushed into the team. Just like Gabriel was for us when David Luiz took a knock. If he would have failed, he would have been dropped and he would have had to earn his place. But because he managed and he survived and eventually he was fine, he was retained because he did it, put in a decent job, and put in a decent shift. I didn't think he was all that great. He was decent. He was decent. Unfortunately, our attack was crap. If we had taken our
What are you
chances in that
talking about?
Leicester game, the first half that we were dominating, I think this there would be the same point would be put up that this guy was probably not ready to play for Leicester right now. But
Fresh.
unfortunately, our attack did not take the chances.
Who are you
Yeah,
talking
go ahead,
about?
Jai.
Who
Go ahead.
were you talking about Emery?
No, we
No,
are
we're
talking
talking
about
about Emil Smith Rowe.
no, we were talking about Farfan, whatever his name is. Fafan, I don't remember. The
Yeah,
young guy,
Fafana.
Fafana from Leicester
Fafana.
City. Why
Oh yeah.
wasn't yeah, why wasn't he? Why didn't he need the time to like get used to the climate and all this? He was directly drafted into the Leicester City team. Why Emil
Uh,
Smith Rowe can't get a start? Why Saliba wasn't included into the team? Why wasn't all this happening? Because we all see this. Because we as much as we can crucify and criticize Emery. Emery will give the opportunity to the kids. That's one thing I like about him. Practically every single youngsters had an opportunity under Emery. Practically everyone who gave Saka his debut, Emery gave him. Martinelli, same. Emil Smith Rowe was playing in the Europa League. Okay, Reece Nelson, Joe Willock, all of them. I think I'm the only player that Emery didn't give his chance was probably Eddie. And guess who's giving him the
Balogun
chance right now? Arteta.
and Balogun. But one thing is there with respect to that, I will just add quickly. Uh, Willock was crap. Emery overplayed him. Guendouzi was, you can say overplayed, but he was the need of the day. Can't help him. Can't help that. Martinelli was obviously going to get a chance the way that he impressed in the preseason. He was bound to get a chance, but Emery gave him a chance very late. Oh, trust me, he should have been playing from game number one for me. Emery waited for like 5 or 6 games before he actually got him through the
Yeah, I
cup.
agree that.
So there. And with respect to Saka, yes, I agree that Saka played well. But if you remember, Saka was started as a winger. He couldn't impress. Then he was brought in because of the fact that we had an injury
Yeah,
and
left
we
back,
didn't have
yeah.
a left back. So that when you say luck, there is a bit of luck there as well. And eventually, Saka developed into a great player. No denying that, but it was a bit to do with luck as well. I'll quickly add Khan as well, and before that, I'll quickly go into Sam's rant mode. He's ranting in the comments. Big up, Sam. He's saying Klopp was an accomplished manager when he came to Liverpool. He won promotion with Mainz, which is like Cardiff City getting promotion, and then won the league and did bits with Dortmund. Kevin, my friend, do you remember Emery's last months as manager for us? He lost the dressing room and had no idea of formation to play or to use. Emery was crap. We had gone for Ancelotti. We should have gone for Ancelotti, and but I give Arteta time before giving up on him. Arteta is a pussy and Rogers isn't. Kevin made a valid point. Smith Rowe has played first team football before. He has, but he has not played at the Premier League level, Sam, and he is not going to be directly rushed in. No manager, even Emery, would not rush him directly into the first team.
I agree. I agree with Sam. Here's the thing about Emery. We know about his poor communication, and I think what happened was his players, the experienced players, were taking the piss out of him, as we found out, and probably the young players had a lot of respect for him because they knew what he'd won, and that he was an experienced manager, and so I think he knew that those players would give him more than the experienced players, and then inevitably we
More
saw those
assurance, yeah.
inexperienced players. we saw those fringe players down tools at the end of his reign,
No,
and
it
he
could
probably knew that was coming.
it could also be the case that the experienced players didn't give a damn because they thought that their places in the team were fixed, so as to say. And then eventually, when he started playing youngsters, they had to do something about it, and that is when
Yeah,
they started performing. So, and the thing is, I don't think he lost his dressing room. The problem is that everyone was trolling and not respecting him in a sense because the media was doing it as well. So eventually, what happened is he
yeah,
became a troll, and losing a dressing room would be like manager versus player fight. I didn't see that. The only player I think who was pissed with him a bit was Laurent Kashone, who left eventually, and I think that was the only player that he
Ozil,
lost.
Ozil.
Ozil too. Yeah,
Ozil was never in many of the managers' plans. He was not in Emery's plans. He was not in Arteta's plans. They just got him in between, got him in and out, and that is how it was. And Sam is saying our best performance in the last 2 to 3 seasons are with the youngsters playing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't totally agree with that. I don't agree with that. If you are talking about their performances in the Europa League, then you will be talking because they are against weaker oppositions. But if you see overall, I think our best performance in the last 2 3 years has come one against Tottenham, the one that we won, if you remember, under Emery in the first season. The next one,
4-2.
I think Leicester City first half. That was one of our best performances, though we couldn't score goals. But I think that was one dominating, hell of a dominating performance. So I am again saying this, Kevin. We are not playing bad football right now. Trust me, we are not playing bad football. The problem is our players, our attackers are not finishing off their chances.
Yeah, the
And
problem is Arteta.
when
The
they start
Yeah,
doing
problem
that,
Jai,
that
when they start
yeah, but
doing that,
Jai.
I think everything changes. Yeah, go ahead, Jai.
yeah, but the problem is Arteta starts Willian over Pepe, 72 million player in the bench.
Yeah, but the price value doesn't matter that much. If he's not playing well, I said he's playing very poorly in the Europa League, and he just scored those goals because they are weaker opposition. Remember,
But
he scored with his right foot. Imagine Pepe scoring with his right foot. Has he ever done that in the Premier League? I
But
doubt it.
yeah, Nitish, the thing with Pepe is he can pull out of a goal out of nothing. Pepe can be shit for 80 minutes, and all he needs is one single chance for him to be a superstar. That's it. Pepe is that type of player. He can play shit, but Willian can be shit for 90 minutes, do fuck all, but we keep on playing him.
No,
Willian is not even doing anything. Willian is not doing anything. Even Aubameyang, he can
yeah.
be shit throughout the game, but he can. All he needs is just one moment of brilliance. We got two types of player who can do that. One is Pepe, another one is Aubameyang,
The
and
the
we are not
problem
playing to the player's strength. Yeah,
The
go on,
problem with
Nitish.
Pepe is if you see both his goals in the Europa League as well, he came towards the center of the box and scored both of those goals. He was not scoring it from the wings because you know why? Because when he plays on the wings, all he does is will cut with his left foot, and that is all he knows. He's a one-trick monkey, you can say. I don't want to be racist, but it's a one-trick pony, whatever it is called. So he is that. And at the end of the day, if he doesn't come towards the center and take those shots, he's never going to score. But unfortunately, in the Premier League, he's never able to do that because he just does that one single trick all the time, and everyone knows what he's going to do. If he
exactly,
starts
what can
right,
Willian do? What can Willian do? He can't do nothing.
Willian looks far more composed on the ball with rather than Pepe. Willian is not being right now utilized properly. I'm saying this again. Both Aubameyang and Willian, if they are actually fitting into the formation properly, they can start scoring goals. Willian hit the post against Manchester United as well. If you remember, he should have scored probably a goal there.
Yeah,
Probably he should
I
have
think he
scored.
hit the crossbar there.
Out
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
out of 7 games he played, he's hit the crossbar once
But
against
how many
United,
but
and
how many goals has Willian scored this season for Arsenal? None. Unlike Pepe, he scored like two, I think.
one. He scored one against Sheffield. But that is not the thing. He scored in the Europa League, but I'm not going to count those. But what the thing is, Willian is looking more like a thinking footballer. Pepe does not look like a thinking footballer. His face looks like
but
he looks like a
yeah,
lost
yeah,
child in a
but
carnival.
we don't need a thinking footballer right now. We need someone with an end product, someone that can finish off moves. That's what we need. We don't need a thinking footballer. We got plenty of thinkers in the bloody squad that does fuck all up front. So what
No,
right now we need is goals. That's the
no,
thing.
Uh, I,
Simple
I,
thing
I
is
agree. I agree with Kevin because like there was another player that was doing the same, which we were talking about earlier. It was Ericsson. He's a thinking footballer, but in his last season at Spurs, he wasn't doing anything. He was,
No,
as
he wanted to
expressions
go out.
told him, he was a lawnmower. He was just cutting grass, just like Willian. He's cutting
He
grass
wanted
right now.
he wanted to leave, and the club wanted to retain him. There was that conflict going on. So at the end, he was
Bloody Danish
dropped.
lawnmower. Danish
But
lawnmower.
no, but the thing with respect to Pepe is the problem is when Bellerin is making that run, overlapping run, he doesn't pass the ball to him, and that is what irritates Arteta as well. He overplays. He keeps the ball at his feet, and then the final ball is not there. He doesn't play the pass. He doesn't play the final pass.
You
All
know
that
why
does-
that you know why that is. You know why he keeps the ball to himself because he thinks he's never going to play again because that's it will bench him next game. So he tries to do everything himself.
No, he's
Like
been playing like that forever. Last season also, not just this season. Last
Okay,
season he was
okay.
playing
Yeah,
regularly.
but if you were to see, Nitesh, if you were to see, I'm not making a huge comparison here, but if you were
Yeah.
to notice, if you want to drop Pepe from the Premier League squad or you not want to play him, at least
Yeah.
when you play him in the Europa League, at least play him for bloody 90 minutes instead of hooking him off after
that's true.
45, 60 minutes. It makes no
But
sense. How can a
But
player be that consistent and confident whenever he's being taken off after 45 minutes,
but
60
I
minutes
disagree.
after scoring a goal? And
But
yeah,
I
go
would
on,
play
Jai.
Pepe. I would play Pepe most games. I would put
Yeah,
Willian as a reserve player. I'd put Willian as a reserve player. Reserve player that would be perfect for him.
no, but with respect to Kevin, where was Pepe being taken off in the 45th minute?
Yeah, he was taken off in the Europa League. The last, I think it was against Molde.
he
Was
scored
there?
and they removed him.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you think about Pepe in the Premier League, he would have done much better than Willian.
Yeah, I think the end product would be much more there. Easily, without a doubt.
No,
Because
I think the
Pepe,
problem.
one thing I respect about Pepe is Nitish. Sorry, Nitish. One thing I respect about Pepe is if he knows the entire team's play like scrap, he literally
Yeah.
will take on a few players and go for it. That's one thing I like about Pepe. How many of our players would do that? If they know that everything in the whole building is collapsing, I think the last player that did this was Alexis Sanchez. He knows the entire team plays scrap. What he will do, he'll just drag the dream, he will just run through a few players and take a shot. That is what
Same as
Pepe is
Ozil.
exactly doing. Pepe
Same
is
as
doing
Ozil.
See,
but
the thing is,
I would
Kevin.
say Pepe will
Yeah.
do that thing, but we are not ready to do that. We are not ready to take that risk. I don't know why Arteta is insisting on that.
I am looking through the games. The last game he played the full 90 minutes. Before that, he was taken off in the 62nd minute. So which Europa League game were you talking about? Was it the first one? Let me see.
Mold.
No, Mold he played
The
the whole game.
Soldiers team.
Mold he played the whole game.
Because there was one of the games where he didn't complete the entire game.
Mold game. I think he played the entire game. I can see.
Which game before United? Which game before United? There was one Europa League game before United. What game was
Dundalk.
it?
Yeah.
That was Dundalk.
Yeah, that's a game.
Maybe it was done
That's a game.
Yeah.
That's a
But
game.
Kevin,
He was taken off in the 62nd minute,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that was the
go
game.
on, Jahid.
That
You are
was the
asking
game,
something,
and
Jay?
Willian was
yeah,
returning to the squad fitness.
but
Yeah,
I
go
don't
ahead.
understand. Why is Arteta subbing off Pepe? Pepe is one of the key players in our squad. He can provide good assists.
I don't think Nitesh agrees.
No, he's not. He's lazy.
Okay, he's okay. Pepe, what many people fail to understand is Pepe is much more. He's more like an Ozil, I would say. He's much more like an Ozil because
What?
if you were to see these type of players, they. I'm not saying his playing attributes is exactly like Ozil. That's not the way. He makes things looks easy. Pepe makes things looks easy. He loves to take chances. Ozil doesn't take chances. Ozil doesn't take chances. But if you were to see how Pepe runs, at times he runs very fast, at times he runs like kind of like jogging, but you know what he's capable of. You know he got the skill set. Ozil doesn't know how to dribble past people. He depends too much on his technical abilities, skill, and this and that. But Pepe, We have all seen it what he can do against Van Dijk in his very first debut game. Sorry, John, I just had to put this in. We
Yeah,
know what he
Pepe
can do this,
can dribble,
but
he can pass.
yeah, he can dribble, he can pass. But what Mikel
Yeah,
Arteta's
he can't
attribute
take he
is
can't take corners
he
though.
he want him Pepe. What he wants him is track back, do that dirty work behind, track back, tackle, make this recovering the ball and all this. Pepe doesn't do that much. Pepe doesn't really do that, and that justifies it also because I don't really want him to go and retrieve the ball, tackle, and make silly challenges and all this makes absolute
To
nonsense.
be honest with
I
you,
want him
Pepe
up in the
isn't a
pitch.
defender really. He's not mainly good at tackling, but
Yeah, but that's what Arteta's expecting, and that's one of the reasons why Mikel Arteta's not favoring him at all. For me, he's wasted. For me, he's wasted. And I think Unai Emery also exactly had the same damn problem with Pepe because he wanted him to go and tackle. Let's not forget, we all said that Aubameyang need to track back, make tackles, and all this, recover the ball. You remember the moment of madness Aubameyang had against Crystal Palace? He got sent off a straight red.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can happen because these players, that's not a defender's tackle, that's a striker's tackle. And this is what happened when you ask players of an offensive section to come and tackle and recover balls. This is why certain players are ineffective. And that is
It was
why
a lazy
offensive players must be upfront, not doing the bloody defensive side of work. The question mark is right now, where is the midfield players? Because the midfield players, because you don't come and see Mohamed Salah, Robert Firmino, or Mane coming in doing a reckless challenge. How often can you see those three get red card? But only at Arsenal we can see a few of them getting red cards.
No, but with respect
So
to the fact that you said that we wanted Mourinho, we should have had Mourinho probably for titles. I am telling you one thing: if Pepe didn't put in that shift under a Mourinho in the Mourinho
That's
team,
right. It's true
he would
though.
have been dropped. He dropped Juan Mata for the same reason. So he
No,
would have dropped
I would be
Pepe.
Pochettino. Pochettino
yeah,
would
Sorry,
be the perfect one.
go on,
Pochettino,
Jahid. You're about to say something.
Yeah, I would have took a Pochettino.
who wouldn't win a title in 5 years or 10 years.
No, you
You,
cannot judge. You
you got
cannot judge based
Spurs,
on
But
that,
come
who got
Nitish.
on.
Spurs? But who got Spurs to the Champions League final?
He at least got back in at Tottenham and he had a better squad. Overall squad, if you see, yes, he did develop a few players like Harry Winks and others, but he had a better squad at Spurs. That
The
squad at
trouble
Spurs is
with
still better.
Pochettino is that he hasn't signed a. When he was at Tottenham, he didn't sign a lot of players. The last time he signed a player was Lucas Moore back in 2018. So
Yeah.
that can tell that he lacked a bit of
He needed a little bit more to get over the top
And
to win the
and
title.
and
That's why he got
Nitish, the
sacked for the
ideal
lack of
candidate,
consistency.
the ideal candidate for the Arsenal job is Poch. You know why?
Yeah.
Because he works in a limited budget. And that's what we need. Because right
No,
now, all the managers, all our fancy managers that we want, Allegri, Ancelotti, and all these people need financial backing. And if they don't have the financial backing, they're going to flop.
I
Well,
disagree on that.
Pochettino on the other hand, he can work with the minimum requirement. Wouldn't be surprised if Poch can even bring us to some final or something. If Mikel Arteta can bring us to an FA Cup final and Unai Emery bring us to a Europa League final, Poch brought them lot down the road to a Champions League final and only to lose to Liverpool 2-0 in by a first minute penalty and an 87th minute goal.
So if we lose to Leeds, will there be questions asking for Arteta?
It's time for him to go, man. If he loses to Leeds, sorry.
I don't think
That's
so.
a
Some
horrible
fans
record.
will
That's a
have,
horrible record.
and the other
You're
thing with
talking
respect
about
to
nine games, 5 defeats. How can you don't think so, Nitish? That's
because
shambles.
we need to see where we end up at the end of this season. Till the time we do not have a better idea going ahead into the games, we have even not reached the
Trust the
halfway
process.
mark.
Trust the
No,
process.
it's a fact because when Arteta came in,
Oh
everyone said
man.
that sack Emery, bring in Arteta, he will help us recover and finish in the top four. Now we will go for another manager. We will say sack Arteta and bring in another manager. He will help us go into the top four again. And either ways, we may end up finishing once again at eighth place at the end of this season as well. And you need to remember one more thing. Arsenal is not a club like Chelsea who has enough money to keep sacking managers, keep paying them, and then they don't have that much money. They can't keep doing this over and over again. Chelsea can do it because their billionaire owner wants to spend money and he will throw money there.
Yeah,
But we can't keep
Nitesh,
sacking our managers over and over again.
we are paying a novice manager £6 million a year. A manager with
Yeah.
no experience, £6
Yeah,
million. Six
yeah.
million pounds. That makes
But
absolute no sense. How can you pay £6 million to a manager that doesn't know fuck all about managing a football club?
Yeah,
That's daylight robbery, man.
exactly what Sam's comment just said. If you have 5 losses after 9 games, what do you think we're gonna be after 38?
Maybe
it
below
depends.
8. I'm saying below 8 because if we keep on
Yeah.
losing, then off, I think we'll finish 8th. Maybe
No,
below.
I think in the bottom half. The reason
Yeah,
being is we are still have to play.
you'll be around Leeds. You'll be in the
We
mid-table.
we still have to play the big guns again. The return fixtures. You have to
Yeah.
still play the big guns again. Do you think we are going to pull out a result if you can't even pull out the results against the smaller teams?
No, the
Come
thing
on, man.
is, right now, our front three are not in form. And the reason we won the title last season, the FA Cup title, and we did well overall was because they were firing and they were getting us goals, especially Aubameyang. So once he is having right now a goal drought, if he is able to resolve it, then obviously things will change. It is just we have to wait. Maybe it could happen in the Leeds game. If not in the Leeds game, it could happen in one of the next 2 to 3 games. If he gets back his goal scoring form, definitely things change. Also, you need to remember Martinelli will be coming in, more creativity coming into the team. Things will be different. It's not always going to be like this, even if we
I,
have lost. And
yeah, go
just
on,
one more
Sam.
thing. Liverpool, we were not expected to beat. But yes, the disappointing thing would be the level of performances. We should have done better. City, we could have probably stolen a draw. We didn't play bad football. Again, with Leicester, we did not play bad football. Unfortunately, we didn't finish our chances. With United, we played fine football and we got a penalty goal. Otherwise, we should have probably scored as well. The only problem is this type of football is not looking good is because of the fact we are not finishing off our chances. If we start scoring goals, I think everything changes then. Then this problem which we have, that the formation is not working, system is not working, goes down the drain, because that is the only one key thing right now missing is the final goal, the goal that we need to score, the goals that we need to score. That is the only one thing missing. Otherwise, football overall, it's not that bad if you see.
And I agree with Sam again on the comments. I just don't think it's as simple as your strikers will click again and you'll get going again. I think this is a much bigger issue than that. And it's like it's to do with formation, it's to do with coaching, it's to do with like this thing isn't gonna fix itself. Did you and you
Yeah.
said when Martinelli comes back, we get creativity. Did you not forget that after he had Player of the Month, Arteta benched him for like 2 months and then he got injured. Like,
Yeah,
where's the guarantee of those players?
Arteta benched him after he was Player of the Month. Arteta benched him and brought him back against Olympiacos to set up Aubameyang's
Yeah,
bicycle kick goal. That shows how influential Martinelli can be, and that's where the question mark lies. Why wasn't Martinelli played for the next 2 months after winning Player of the Month? That's why all the question keep asking. Because if Emery were to do this, we'd be calling for his head. But why Arteta should be given an exemption on this? This is my question. Why there must be a double standard? The question is when a manager does this type of mistake, we got every right as fans to question the decision. We cannot be saying this is part of the process and all this shit because I've had enough of that shit.
No,
I don't
I'm
think so.
saying
Liverpool fans going
So
around
if
just
we
telling
finish,
trusting the
then
process.
if we finish 8th, then most of our key players will be gone. Aubameyang could leave, Pepe could leave.
I think if Aubameyang doesn't score goals and he wants to leave at the end of that, I think it will be an advantage for us rather. If he can't pick back his form and then he decides to leave and we get money for him, it will be an advantage at that point of time for us.
Or
But
who
the
would
thing
you
is,
replace Aubameyang with? We can't
hold
find
on.
a good replacement for Aubameyang because we don't have the money.
No, but if we sell Aubameyang, obviously we'll have money to buy players. But Kevin, what I was saying is, you said if Emery was called out for the same things that Arteta is doing, but you yourself said that you didn't want Emery to be sacked and you wanted to give him more time. Why are you saying sack Arteta then?
Okay, the reason
I'm,
being is
I'll
because
just say one thing.
he's
I'm
an
really good
experienced
at this.
manager.
I'm really good at this. You
He's an
better be careful
experience.
with what you say.
Who?
I
Sam,
can
is
really
it?
twist. No, I'm saying I'm really good at this, twisting your words and asking
Uh,
you the questions.
yeah. The thing is, because he's an experienced manager, simple as experienced manager. If you would, if a simple question, because I saw this in one of the streams, I'm not going to say who. He said, if a pilot, if you are traveling in a plane, if you are traveling in a plane,
Oh.
would you trust a pilot? Would you trust a
Yeah.
pilot that with experience? So that's the biggest question. It's as simple as fact. It's as
Lee
simple
Gunner
as it's a simple.
fanboy. Lee.
Yeah, no, it's a simple
Good.
as fact. It's a simple as fact because you would trust a manager rather than manage that club than rather than a novice that doesn't know fuck all about like management who's been just Pep's cone boy and you're telling him that he's the next coming of Pep. And it doesn't make no sense because how can you trust that manager?
You know
Because
what
just
my
because he won
response?
an FA Cup.
You know what my response to that pilot analogy was? The pilot actually won a title in the first few months that he was at the club,
Yeah, so
and improving.
the pilot had like a good test
Okay,
run, and then
Yeah,
yeah,
but then he crashed the plane next trip.
no,
the pilot dealt with the simulation well, and then the real flight he fucked. That's what's happening.
no.
So
But
he,
the thing is, you call it a simulation, whatever you want to call it. The manager that you're saying, Pochettino, who according to you also is a good choice to come in, has never even won that simulation. He's tried. He's reached the last
We're
level.
not arguing that,
Hold
Nitish.
on. He's reached the final level, this last stage. It's like a game. He's reached the dragon, the final dragon, but he's failed every time he's gone there. And yes, one more thing I want to tell you. You guys say that Pochettino can work with a limited budget. The reason Pochettino left Spurs was because he was unhappy with the fact that he was not being given money, and eventually he decided to go, and they sacked him when the results didn't start coming because he was already on the verge of leaving. Why do you think Pochettino wants to go to a club like Manchester United or maybe some other club that has money? Because the problem with Spurs was he was forced to do that. It
Yeah.
wasn't his interest. He was forced to not buy players, and then he was expected to win titles. So if that is the case, and that is the similar case which is with Arsenal, he's not going to be happy. He's not going to take the Arsenal job.
but
That might be right. Yeah,
yeah,
you know.
when you come with Poch as well,
Yeah.
Mourinho has also spent a lot of money on Spurs because let's not forget Arsenal used the same reason saying that because we are paying off stadium debt and all this shit and said that we cannot sign players. Spurs have dealt with the same shit and they are signing much more players than us. And they just took Gareth Bale, paying him ridiculous amount of wages just for him to sit and rot in the bench and maybe have a few appearances and all this. They have signed Regulon. They have signed like Heubel. They have signed a few players over there. They have signed and addressed every single issue. So don't tell me that Spurs don't have money. Don't tell me Spurs don't have money. It's
For
just that they just pardon?
for Pochettino, the owner didn't have money for him for some reason. And the second thing is, I will tell you one thing. Mark my words. Spurs is going, unless Spurs wins some titles with Mourinho, they are going to go in a
Oh, I
financial
hope
crisis.
not. I hope not,
No,
man. I
I'm
hope
saying
not. That
I'm saying that they're going to go in a financial crisis soon because they already spent a lot of money on their new stadium, which is whatever you want to call it, toilet bowl or whatever. It's empty.
yeah.
It's not gonna be filled. It's not gonna be filled. So if any club makes a new stadium, their plan is that 2 to 3 years down the line, we'll make a lot of revenue out of it, and we will be recovering any kind of money investment that we have put in. But unfortunately, if the fan situation does not improve in the next 2 to 3 years, Spurs could be in a financial crisis. It will really hit them hard if it's not resolved.
They must not win a trophy, though. They must not win a trophy. I don't want to see that shit.
Yeah, and the and you
I think you guys will be in hiding if we see Mourinho running up and down
Yeah,
that
but
track
Oh,
like
man.
one
Oh,
of these
man.
days.
No.
before the end of the season, Son and Kane doing a magnificent job at Spurs. They could help Mourinho get a trophy.
the
Oh,
thing
man.
is
If
the,
that
the, the,
happens, the Arteta out fan brigade would be running in full force then. If that
Imagine
I
if
don't
actually
Spurs win
understand.
a
happened.
trophy, but not us. We don't win a trophy, but Spurs do.
Yeah,
We already won one last year.
I predicted at the start of the season that Spurs would win the Carabao Cup and finish fourth. That's my prediction for
See, the
them.
thing is, the same guy, the same, I can call him idiot with respect to this opinion that he said. The same idiot who gave the analogy, the airplane one, said that if Spurs wins the league, if Spurs wins the league, Arteta should be sacked. What is the damn relation between Tottenham winning something and Arsenal sacking their manager? There is no
That's
damn
nothing.
relation between the two
That
things.
is no
There is,
logic.
it has nothing to do with either of those. Spurs did something differently. They got in Mourinho, but is Mourinho a long-term solution? He's definitely not a long-term
Yeah,
solution.
I
He will.
agree. I agree with Sam. He said Mourinho has won trophies with every club he managed. So if he does win a trophy with every club he managed, then he could win a trophy for Spurs. Maybe the Carabao Cup or FA
He
Cup.
could. He
Yeah,
could.
but
But
you said that he kills the club after a short while, right? He's a short-term success. But let's not forget what defines a manager, what defines a club? Trophies. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether it's ruined or not. Our club has been ruined for the last 10 years or 16 years, whatever you may say. Okay. At the end of the day, we are still celebrating a trophy. We are not crucifying and telling our past is like shit and all this. We still celebrate a trophy. At
see,
the
the
end
thing
of the day,
is,
the trophy is matters, man.
yeah. See, the thing is that he doesn't actually kill in a way, but he either gets the fan base split up, like United's fan base is now. You've seen what has happened. Our fan base is already split up. So if a guy like Mourinho came in, it would become more and more toxic. The other thing is he will probably force us into getting rid of some of the players that could be better talents. And people say that youngsters are regressing. How many youngsters does Mourinho give a chance to? Have you seen? He only buys finished products. He only buys players who live in the present and play in the present. So that is what Mourinho
But
does.
you
That
at
is
the same time you kind of need him because you have a lot of old washed up like untalented footballers that are getting a ride by Arteta as well. He's too soft.
no, but the thing is, we know that all those players like Ozil, Bellerin, see,
Yeah.
Ozil, Kolasinac, Mustafi, who's the other one?
Yeah,
Socrates.
Bellerin,
What?
yeah.
Socrates, all these guys, not Bellerin, Socrates, Mustafi, I think who else was there? I think even Mavropanos
Kolasinac.
to an extent, all Kolasinac, and I
Yeah.
said all
He
these
said
guys
there's
are
no.
leaving at the end of the season. All these guys are leaving at the end of the season. You need to remember that.
Yeah, he'll beg them to stay in the test like he did with Xhaka
No,
and
Yeah.
Mustafi
Bellerin.
rejected.
Mikel
Mustafi
Arteta
is
said, Mikel
yeah,
Arteta said, he himself came out and said that we are planning
yeah,
to offer this guy's contract, that guy's contract. We are like, even our fan base, our deluded fan base said,
yeah.
after El Neni performing sprinting
Give
around,
him a
chasing
new
and closing
contract.
down, give him a new contract. And we are talking about offering Mustafi a new contract. We begged Zaka when we got a bid from Herha Berlin for him to go there, and we begged Saka to stay. We begged all these mid amateur players to stay.
Yeah, but
And
and
in
then he's
fact,
better
just
than
look at
Xhaka. And then
yeah,
he's
and
better than Xhaka.
just look at the signing that
Yeah,
Mikel Arteta made.
level for him.
Just look, Pablo Mari, Cedric Soares. Are these two players? Is this level that we are in right now? 3 years for 3 years,
I am
and
not.
he hardly even kicked a ball.
I'm
That
not
that is a
slacking on
Mikel
Ford,
Pablo
Arteta
Mari.
signing.
I'm not
Ford has
slacking on Pablo
given
Mari.
Cedric Suarez a 4-year contract when he's already 28. That's a bit far too much for Cedric.
You can
He
never
looked
see
good
that
at that
happening
point.
in Liverpool.
No, he looked good when he came to Arsenal initially, if you remember Cedric. And the thing is, he's not hitting form right now. If he is able to, then we can retain him. If he's not able to, we can sell him. We got him on a free transfer. With
Yeah,
respect to Pablo
I
Mari,
think that's why the 4 year contract. Yeah, to sell him if it
yeah,
goes wrong. Man.
yeah. And with respect to Pablo Mari, you need to remember one thing: don't slack him off yet. Manchester City also wanted him. Pep wanted him again at City before Arsenal managed to sign him. So that is another thing you need to
Yeah,
understand.
Pep
Pablo
wanted
Mari,
Yeah,
Maguire.
what
Pep
yeah,
wanted
but
Maguire as
why?
well. Look how that turned out.
Yeah, but why City? Why, if you say City wanted him, why
Yeah.
City didn't go after him when Arsenal wanted to go for him also? Why didn't City go for him? Because they know that he isn't good enough. Because they needed a
No,
centre back that time itself.
no, it was
yeah,
Laporte's injury, which was expected to be a long one, but he came back quicker. So then they did not need another centre back. If you see, Pablo Mari is already for a former Manchester City player. So he went to, I think, after that to the Flamengo, where he played
Yeah,
well
yeah.
for them in the Club World Cup. And what happened is after that, both City and Arsenal wanted him, but City got Laporte back, who became fit again. He was injured and expected to be out for a long time, but he eventually recovered quicker. And Fernandinho was used in his place at that point of time as a centre back. Even though,
Yeah, but
you
Pablo
know,
Mori for me is a squad player. He's a squad player. It's Pablo Mori.
he
He's
can.
Yep.
No, he can. He's a decent player. If you saw his touches and his play and his positioning play looks decent. The only issue will be with Pablo Mari is that both Gabriel and he are left-footed. That is the only issue that I see happening. I don't see any other issue apart from that with Pablo Mari. I don't think he's that slow because I think he can position himself well. The other thing
but
is,
is he an
again,
injury prone?
he's
Yeah.
not supposed, he wasn't injury prone before, but now since he came to Arsenal, he has to pick up an injury. If you remember,
Welcome to Arsenal.
He's picked
yeah
up
he,
two so far, right? He picked up a little one. Now he's picked up a big one.
no, he got injured in that City game, if you remember, the restart of the season, and he
Yeah,
just
but
came
I
back.
thought I thought he I thought he had a small injury before that, or maybe it
No,
was
no,
the second a long like he made it
Cedric
longer
Cedric was
maybe.
injured. Cedric was the one
Uh,
injured, injury prone, kind of, you can say, in a way. Cedric hasn't been performing that well for us. Let's see what happens now.
Oh
And
man.
So who would be our best centre halves then? Gabriel and Mari.
well,
Saliba,
yeah,
Gabriel and Saliba.
Gabriel and Saliba, but Arteta doesn't want him as well. Him mistreating more youth. What a
Yeah, but
surprise!
what I'm so confused about, why isn't Arteta picking Saliba? I think he's a good player. He's only 18.
Arteta's got a problem with young players apparently.
Yeah, but what?
No, he
That's like saying
I think
that's
he's
like
trying to
saying
get
why
rid
is he
of all
starting
the Emery
Saka?
players. He's trying to get rid of all the Emery players. If you can see, all the Emery players are flogged off.
Yeah, but that's like saying why is he starting Bukayo Saka? Because he's the
Hmm?
same
no,
age as Saliba.
it's not.
But
It's
if you
not about
notice,
that.
Saka, even when Saka came out and when he signed this new deal, he said, if you notice his video, he came out and said, right, I want to thank Unai Emery for giving me the opportunity. Did you know what the Arsenal Twitter account did? They literally, they literally erased that clipping where he said thanks to Unai Emery, and they will keep on like mainstreaming that focus on Mikel Arteta giving him chances and stuff like this. That goes on to show that this club is literally hyping up Mikel Arteta and just making sure that Unai Emery doesn't come into the conversation at all, which it's kind of baffling, because you must give credit where it's due. Whenever players come out and just give their opinions and all this, just give credit
So
where it's due.
see, I understand what you're trying to say, but at that point of time, Emery had a lot of hate on his back. It is only now that these set of fans have reborn, and sure, we'll just wrap up in like 10 minutes more or 8 minutes more, and it is now just that this set of fans has suddenly re-emerged and reincarnated in the form of Emery faithful. If you remember, while Emery was here, they were like, Emery out, get this guy out, he's a joke, and all those things and all that crap coming in, and they couldn't stop going on about it. Even Sankalp knows this. I was the only one who was backing Emery, and people were like, we want to forget Emery, we don't want to remember the Emery phase, we don't want
Okay,
to remember this. Yeah,
Nitesh, quick question. If you say that you backed Emery, how long would you have given him time if he was still at the club?
I would have given him maybe till the end of last season and maybe this season, because I knew that without Ramsey being properly replaced, no creative midfielder, Lacazette would obviously fade. One of the main reasons why Lacazette is not playing well since last season and was player of the year before that, but why he's not playing since last season? Because he has to create his own chances. It's not as if he's getting any chances created for him. This season again, we did not summer window. We did not get a creative midfielder again. We only got Thomas Partey, whom we are expecting will possibly create. Again, Lacazette. But the one thing that is there is the 4-3-3 gives Lacazette lesser work to do because it enables the creative side of Thomas Partey to come in and probably a Danny Ceballos to actually try to feed some balls to Lacazette. When we play a 4-3-3, Lacazette falls way less deeper into the midfield when we are playing a 4-3-3 than when we play a 3-4-3. So now, with respect to Arteta, what I am saying again is, if you want to know how long I'll give Arteta, I'll give Arteta till the end of his contract. I think this season and next season. Then, if nothing happens, we no extension. As simple as that. No money paid in sacking. Give him this much time. If he's able to deliver in 3 years, then great. If he's not able to deliver, he gave us an FA Cup. Happy with what he did. Time to move on. As simple as
If
that.
he if he loses another 3 games, the upcoming 3 games, what would you do? Would
I
you
don't
be
care.
still Arteta out or
I, I don't care. As long as the manager does not get Arsenal in the relegation zone, I want to see what a manager has to offer the club. Because, as I said again, the club hasn't bought properly. They have been so obsessed with OR and Partey also they luckily got on the last day of the transfer window when the season had already started. If they were so serious about getting Thomas Partey, they would have gotten him in pre-season itself, and then he would have trained with the players. He would have got to know the players. You can say his friendliness and his compatibility with the players and the team and the setup would have been way better. But they waited desperately for till the last day to finally get him. So that shows that the recruitment is again a problem. They did not sign any creative midfielder apart from getting Ceballos back on loan when they had the option of getting Coutinho as well on loan, if you remember at one point of time. So I will still give him one more year at least and see what he has to offer. Yeah.
Nitish, but I can't believe you're not using the form and the Premier League table. Like if Liverpool acted like you did, we still have Brendan Rodgers in charge after we lost 6-0 to Stoke, and we wouldn't have won a Champions League and a league. Probably.
No, probably you would have still won it. And trust me, your main. I'll tell
I
you one
don't
thing.
think so.
If Liverpool did not get 140 million for Coutinho, you would have never won the Champions League and the league with Klopp.
Yeah, but Klopp was part of that. And if Brendan Rodgers is there, maybe he would have kept Coutinho, and then we would have still been a top 4 club.
Coutinho wanted to go. So if Brendan Rodgers would have sold Coutinho and bought such good replacements for your lacking defense and your because you need to remember Van Dijk was linked to Liverpool right from the Brendan Rodgers day. It wasn't that Klopp was the first one to actually have interest on him. Your transfer committee was also after him, the one that Klopp got rid of. They wanted Van Dijk, but they weren't able to sign him. Alisson,
But was Coutinho unhappy with Klopp? Under Klopp, Coutinho was unhappy with him.
He was. As well.
yeah, he wanted out. He wanted out. Yes.
Yeah, he wanted out.
Yeah. So that was the thing. That is what I was. It wasn't actually about just Klopp. His side was so desperately for Barca that he wanted to leave at any cost. It didn't matter who the manager was. And you know the irony there, right? He went to Barca to win the Champions League and Liverpool won the Champions League. That was the biggest troll.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Finally, before we wrap up, Arteta in or Arteta out? Let's go from Nitish.
In, obviously in, no doubt about it.
3 out, 1 in.
Out.
Out.
And
Yeah,
there is one.
it doesn't matter to me, but Arteta in because I know he's not going to do anything.
No, there is.
Nah.
This is
think
the
that.
opinion of a bloody rival fan. This is the opinion of a bloody
Nah.
rival fan.
Arteta out, fam. Arteta out.
That is not how clubs work. Then the second thing is one more thing. I think Arteta's main target this season is going to be the Europa League. We may finish in 10th place or 15th place or 17th place, and if we win the Europa League, we'll be in the Champions League and laughing. That
But
can
we
also-
had enough of Europa League. We need to get to Champions League.
That is why I'm saying his target will be to win the Europa League because this team can perform better in a cup than in the league.
Arteta will win the Europa League. He can't even beat Olympiacos.
So that I am saying his target this season will be the Europa League. I'm not saying that he'll win it.
John is really taking the sour milk out of us, man. Nitish, don't forget. Don't forget, I want you to.
You got Spurs in the Europa League, Tottenham in the Spurs and Leicester.
Yeah, and there'll be a good team dropping down because that Man United group, there'll be a good team dropping down.
Do you
And
know
if,
how? Do you know
and
which
if
team-
Liverpool drops out of the Champions League and comes into the Europa League, then we are fucked. We are literally fucked.
That's not happening.
They could. Don't worry. With the players that they are missing, they could definitely drop out. But one more thing, Spurs lost to a nobody team in the Europa League.
Ants.
Yeah, I don't even remember the name. So that is the thing. You need to understand. And we have two Champions League level players. One, Gabriel, and second, Thomas Partey now in our squad. If the likes of Martinelli, Aubameyang, and all these guys can find their form, the attack that we have, I think we can actually focus on winning the Europa League and getting back into the Champions League that way. But you need to remember after that, at the end of the day, we are not good enough to be in the top 4 right now.
Okay. So let us all sum it all up, guys. Nitish, do the honors, man.
Yeah, before that, Kevin, I just want to know one last thing and we wrap it up. Why do you think that we are good enough to finish in the top four and the manager is the only problem?
It's not only the manager; it's only the players as well. Also, it's both. It works both ways. It's not only the manager. I don't think so.
So
It's the
what
manager.
so what was your prediction for Arsenal to finish in the league table this season?
This season, eighth, eighth. I would say eight,
That was
sixth
that
until
was
eighth.
before the season started, right?
Yeah,
So then why are you at it out if we finish in eighth place? That was your expectation and everything
Well,
worked out and
with
all the
well,
this
same.
because it
because
is
of
with
our
this manager. It is with this manager. It is
No,
with this manager
you said but your expectation was eighth before the season started.
because it's
yeah,
with this manager. It's
because
with
Arteta's
Arteta.
there.
If it's Arteta there, if I got Jurgen Klopp, I wouldn't say eighth. I would say bloody fourth. If
But
I
then
had,
Klopp
if
also
I, but I don't
What's
care. As
Arteta's
long as it's
expectation for this
Arteta,
season?
as long as Arteta, I would go with eight. Because what difference did he make last season? That for me to say that he's going to go one better, he's going
But what's his
backwards.
expectations? What's his expectations?
For
from
Arteta or
who?
for me,
Arteta.
for Arteta, he must make top four. He must make top four.
So I think
If he
for me
doesn't,
it is more realistic, like fifth between fifth to eighth, win the Europa League. That is a more easier goal, I think, for Arteta. And
Well,
if he's able to
I think that still works. I think most people said if he gets into the Europa League, they'll still keep him as manager.
exactly, I think it will all change. If he wins the Euro, he will become the first ever Arsenal
But
manager to win a
but
European
Nitesh,
trophy.
but Nitesh, still no embarrassing finishes. Like if you finish below 10th, that's still embarrassing. Like I think
oh
it forgets
Jesus
that.
Christ, man! Don't talk
No, and
about that, man. You're giving me
trust,
bloody nightmares early in the morning, man.
trust me, John. We may finish even 17th, but if we win the Europa League, he's not
Yo,
getting
yo,
sacked.
yo, yo! What the fuck, man? Yo, what the fuck, man?
No, I'm just saying we may finish anywhere on the table apart from the relegation zone. But if we win the Europa League and make it to the Champions League, he's not getting sacked. Trust me on it. He's not getting sacked.
Then fuck the board as well, man.
Anyways, thank you so much, guys, for coming on. Big up to Jahid. Jahid, where can people find you? Did you make anything? Instagram, Twitter, or something? Or the Discord?
Discord. Discord.
Okay, so you can share the link of the Discord in the comments later on this video if anyone watches it and definitely wants to join in, they can do that. Going back to the Liverpool fan who was trying to take a dig at Arsenal, John, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me at Revenant Space FC on YouTube. I haven't been uploading in a while, but I will be back to it soon, I hope. But yeah, thanks for having me on, and I hope I can do a lot of these shows again because these are a lot of fun. So.
Thank you, John, for coming on. I am exhausted after those
Yeah.
the Daniel stream and this one. And big up to Kevin, my man, as well. Where can people find you apart from the Malaysian brothel?
All right, like Nitish said, of course, I would like to thank Nitish as well. Of course, this is a very bloody late night stream. I've been doing it going on for about 6 hours. So big up for all you guys in the chat and big up Nitish, Ref, and Jahid as well. So you guys can find me in Twitter, the only platform, Kevin Mahak 434, and of course you guys can find me in Nitish page as well as Daniel's page and Simply's page as well. At times, if Ref opens up a chance, then I'll be in Ref's video as well. But
You would
thanks guys.
you would rather be in a rev party than just the rev opening up. but
Fucking hell.
but
John,
as
do you have to do a live stream?
sorry.
Does John ever do a live stream?
He hasn't done.
Not on my channel for a while, yeah, for ages.
Yeah.
You should do one, John.
Far long ago, John used to do a stream. He'll now start going in that Dungeons and Dragon mode,
Yeah, but it's the weekend. I go into nerd mode.
D&D mode. But yeah, as I said before, I got a long bottle, and that's all I got long right now because
What's
we
in
had
that
a great
bottle?
set of. It's water.
That's
Don't
what
worry.
she
It's not
said.
wine. It's water. It's not wine. Don't worry. And big up to all you guys, and thanks for joining in. I had wine like around 10 hours ago, but I slept off then. Anyways, big up all you guys. Thank you, Sam, as well. Thank you, Fred, and everyone else who was in the chat. Take care, be home, and be safe. I am done. And